My wife was shampooing in mid-swoop, suds accumulating in her hair, when the water vanished. Not a single drip. Poof! She hollered my name like the roof was collapsing, sliding on wet tile as she caught herself on a towel. I ran upstairs anticipating either a burst pipe or some freak spider, but found only her soaked soap scalding her eyes, outraged that all the taps, shower, kitchen, even the garden hose, had dried up like bones. I thought it was a plumbing problem, perhaps a ruptured main, but out back the water hit home. Our water line had been cut neatly in two. A yellow warning stood erected next to it like a self-satisfied little threat. Unauthorized access ended by HOA directive. My blood seethed. The Homeowners Association had no notion what sort of tempest they'd created. They didn't know that the lake supplying their whole system, the one they called community property, wasn't theirs to command. It was mine. Every single drop. The ridiculousness of it struck as I knelt by the cut pipe. We owed them nothing, hadn't taken a sip. We didn't even require permission. I owned the source. Linda Grayson, the president of the HOA, had proclaimed some holy war on so-called infractions. She charged people for crooked mailboxes or tacky flamingo decorations. Cutting off our water, however, that was not policy. That was warfare. I marched to her so-called office, a garage that smelled of lavender oil and smugness. Linda sat behind a desk heaped with HOA charters, drinking coffee like some monarch of the mundane. I didn't bother knocking. "You cut my water," I told her. Her smirk could have curdled milk. She pushed a satellite photo across her desk, pointing at my pipe as if it was a crime scene. "Unauthorized," she declared. I asked her if she'd taken the trouble to research county water rights. Her smirk flickered, then hardened. "The lake's communally owned," she snapped. "Requires board approval." I leaned forward. "Linda, you're taking water out of my lake. The whole neighborhood is, and you just chopped down the one house that owns it. Hope your roses enjoy dust." She pushed me away, but her eyes were uncertain. I walked out without saying another word. She thought I was bluffing. She'd learn quickly. At home, I retrieved files from my safe. Decades before, I'd purchased land with a natural lake, supplied by a deep aquifer. The HOA, skipping city water bills, had tapped into it for years. I never cared. My line was distinct until Linda's prank. My attorney, Mark, confirmed it. A 1980s easement granted me full authority. I had a legal basis to limit access for infractions, such as, for example, cutting my line. I visited the valve station of the lake, a fenced corner where HOA pumps hummed. The master key in my pocket could strangle their entire supply. But I did not turn it, not yet. Timing was crucial. Linda doubled down, posting on the neighborhood app with a self-satisfied photo beside my busted pipe. "No freeloaders. HOA enforces water rules." Their reaction was a combination of cheers and shock. Nearly all the neighbors did not even know their water was supplied from my lake. I shot back with a photo of my deed, which read, "Lakes aren't communal when you own them." It went viral. My phone rang nonstop. Neighbors frantic, some furious at Linda. I assured them I would not cut them off, yet. But the HOA had 24 hours to fix my line and issue an apology. Linda called it blackmail and threatened county involvement. I gave her my lawyer's number. She declined. That evening, sipping wine on the porch, my wife Sarah asked my plan. "They're throwing a big bash Saturday," I said. "Food trucks, water slides, dunk tanks. Let them set it all up. Then pull the plug when they're mid-splash." The HOA's summer event was shaping up to be a full-blown water-fueled festival. Perfect. I had coffee with my county hydrologist friend Jake on Friday. He inspected my deed and whistled. "Their pumps are situated on your property, and their pipes cut right up against ecozones. If you cut access off, the county can't intervene, except in a case of emergency." I hijacked the valve with a remote timer, programmed for 1 p.m. on Saturday. It would shut off all non-emergency flow, sprinklers, slides, sinks, but leave emergency lines open. No risk, just pandemonium. Saturday was hot, perfect for a party. I settled in on the lawn, lemonade in my hand, as families made their way toward the park. Children with floaties waved goodbye. 2 giant slides loomed over the field. Linda patrolled around, barking orders like a queen. Neighbors eyed me with mixed expressions, some suspicious, some optimistic. At 1 o'clock on the dot, I tapped my phone. Seconds after, the dunk tank churned. Slide jets bubbled out, children screamed from the parched plastic, balloon booths deflated. The DJ's mic crackled with static as fans ceased to rotate. Text messages poured in. Home faucets went dry. Linda's smile dissolved. She stumbled, flustered. A fire marshal neighbor insisted on a contingency plan. She had none. I walked over, my voice even. The owner of the lake turned it off. Legally. Repair my pipe? Apologize. Acknowledge I own it. You have 24 hours. I waved my deed. No one said a word. A dad audibly gasped. A kid let a water balloon fall. Then someone shouted, "Get Linda out before we're all carrying buckets." I strode away. The grumblings became a wave. Sunday morning was peaceful. No sprinklers, no hoses. The app blew up. Demands for Linda's ouster. Jokes about scalding bathwater. Linda made some screed calling me a water terrorist and a document forger. I disregarded it. The county had my files. Deputy Alvarez called me laughing. Linda had threatened to have me arrested for utility tampering. The sheriff, with my easement documents, alerted her that she was the one playing at charges. She stormed out, screaming about the mayor. That evening, my security cameras recorded someone sneaking past the valve. Carl Grayson, Linda's cousin, with bolt cutters in hand, botching it like a novice. He did not even know he was being recorded. Alvarez busted him in mid-cut. Linda appeared yelling Carl had acted alone. He came clean right away. She'd instructed him to repair it. He received trespassing charges. She received an official warning. The video leaked onto the internet. HOA sabotage fail. News vans arrived in droves. Lake owner shuts HOA water supply. Linda scrambled, arranging a closed-door board meeting. But members insisted on transparency. The open session was filled, residents scowling. Linda attempted her speech. Unity, misconceptions. It failed. She called me greedy. I grabbed the mic, read my deed, enumerated her infractions, and played the video of Carl. Laughter cut through the tension, then applause. A motion to remove Linda passed, nearly unanimous. She stormed out with a clipboard and no dignity. The acting president, Nora, apologized, promised to repair the pipe, acknowledged my ownership. That evening, I reopened the valve. Water hissed back into the pipes. Sprinklers danced. Children cheered. It didn't stop there. A local news site used the headline, HOA water grab backfires. Memes erupted of Linda's scowling face at the dunk tank. You cut the pipe and lost the lake. The HOA presented a printed apology in recognition of my rights. I framed it. Linda remained silent until her attorney issued a defamation complaint alleging I'd embarrassed her with weaponized water. Mark came close to blubbering. Counter-sued for trespass and fraud, with witnesses and video. The lawsuit disappeared days later. I explained the whole tale at a town hall, demanded accountability. People nodded. Some apologized. I wrote a formal water agreement, usage limits, maintenance conditions, 30-day notice of changes. The board signed and recorded it with the county. I even constructed a fountain in front of the HOA building. The inscription stated, "Water's a gift, honor its source." Neighbors adored it. Some giggled. Linda, she relocated 3 counties away, lost a board election there as well. A conference asked me to give a speech about resource conflicts. I relayed the lesson. Unlimited power always boomerangs. At home, a child hung up a sign by the lake. Peace Lake, take only what you need. It wasn't merely water, it was trust, restored. Linda's war was not my triumph. It was that of the community, fought with truth finer than any valve.